What's up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a tremendous day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. It's Thursday, so we're going back into AskReddit for some more stories that I know are gonna make you laugh. So, let's get to it. Okay, so this AskReddit question was, waiters of Reddit, what's the most ridiculous order someone's placed, and how did you deal with it? Now, I know this might not sound initially like the funniest one, but trust me, there's some good ones in here. I had a lady tell me it was impossible to make the dish too spicy. When I told the cooks, they took it as a personal challenge. I don't remember what they put in it, but I do know that someone ran to a grocery store for another ingredient. It was literally the spiciest thing I had ever smelled. Just being an arm's length away from it for 30 seconds while I delivered it had me coughing and tears streaming down my face. Even guests at nearby tables complained about the smell. Just so much capsaicin in the air that people 15 feet away were uncomfortable. But she ate everything. She ate every single bite and then scraped up the remaining sauce and ate that too. Follow-up comment here? At that point, I wouldn't have even charged her. Just a slow clap would suffice. Okay then, I do not know how she would have survived that. But yeah, I wonder if she's one of those people that could eat a Carolina Reaper or a ghost pepper or something like that. How do you do that? I had a four-top once that one of the gentlemen was ordering and asked for extra onion. And he made extreme emphasis on extra onion. So I go to put the order in and I have to talk to the chef to make sure he understands extra onion. So when the order comes out, I get a side plate of a cut whole onion. I giggle and take the order to the table. I put the orders of food in front of all the other guests and leave Onion Man for the last. I set his plate of food and extra onion down. He looks up at me and starts laughing. The whole table is now laughing. I'm like, what? Apparently, wherever they go, no matter what, he always has to ask for more onion. And this time, my snarky chef nailed it. Follow up on that one? I did that with ketchup once. I like some ketchup with my fries, and I get that having a squeeze bottle on the table isn't great for ambiance. But when you serve half a plate of fries with one of those tiny little stainless ramekins filled up halfway with ketchup, it's a pet peeve of mine. So one time, I asked for more than a thimbleful of ketchup, trying to be funny and also try and get a reasonable amount of ketchup. I then got a plate full of those stupid little ramekins and we all laughed our butts off. Sadly, I didn't use all the ketchup, and was subsequently shamed. Follow up to that one? Friends and I used to go to Wendy's in college, and the drive-thru never gave us enough ketchup. So, when we order, we ask for a lot of ketchup, just give us a bag full of ketchup. We pull up to the window, and the guy is stuffing ketchup packets into a bag. Good listener. It looked like 50 packets. The manager sees this, comes over, asks him, "What are you doing?" Giving them a bag of ketchup. Why? Because they asked for it? I don't care what they asked for. He shoved 10 packets into our bag of food, mumbled to have a nice day, and walked away shaking his head. Aw, come on, dude. How much are those ketchup packets really? Seriously, you couldn't just let them have a bit of a funny story? So at a Red Robin, we ordered extra pickles. A lot of extra pickles. The nice waitress brought a side salad bowl full of pickles. My brother and I polished off the whole thing. With relish. I mean, I have nothing against pickles, but dude, that's, okay then. That's a lot of pickles. I had someone ask me how many wings are in your 10-count wings. I simply replied with, somewhere between 9 and 11. So 9.612349972. Is that how much of a wing I get? I worked at a restaurant/fish market type of establishment where we sold raw product but would also prepare the food on the spot. One day, I was helping an old Asian lady out and she told me she had never had a whole lobster and would love to try one. As she was shopping in the fish market portion, I assumed she wanted it live. So we went over to the lobster tank and she picked the happiest little lobster in there. I asked her if she wanted to pay $16.99 for it alive or $22.99 for us to cook it and serve it to her. She decided to take it alive, so I took some time to weigh it out and wrap it up in a takeout box for her to take home. I put it down on the table and walk away. A minute or two later, I hear a commotion and come out to see this little Asian lady with a knife trying to cut off the claw of the lobster. Apparently, she thought that she was supposed to eat this thing live. I just went ahead and cooked it for her. I just have this image in my head of this just a little old Asian lady with like a fencing saber and a lobster with the other one just facing off, just on guard, and just... I mean, I guess if you've never had lobster before, like, maybe it makes sense, but yeah. Once I was having a meal with a buddy at Joe's Crab Shack. We both got the same thing, a jambalaya dish with pasta and crap loads of mini shrimp. My buddy eats through all the pasta, starts going through the rest when the waitress checks up on us. Asked me if I would like a drink refill, and I say yes. And then my buddy asks, "Can you refill this with pasta?" Gesturing with his plate. She obliged. Dude got a pasta refill on his meal. I thought it was hilarious. Had a lady order our filet mignon. When it was brought out to her, she said with disgust that she had ordered the filet, not a steak. She proceeded to argue that a filet mignon was a type of baked potato rather than a steak. What? Where on earth does anyone get the idea that filet mignon is a baked potato? It is a very fine and delicious cut of beef that definitely costs a good amount to order. Also, did she not read the menu? Where in there did it say, "This is a baked potato"? It always talks about, in the most tantalizing language imaginable, "This is a chunk of meat." I mean, could someone explain to me how filet mignon could be construed with a potato? Because I'm lost on that one. Not a waiter, but a cook. Had a lady order her tofu scramble burnt, so I cooked it hard. She sent it back because it wasn't burnt enough. So I cooked it harder. She sent it back again, and the waiter said she really wants it burnt. So I got a wok super hot, put too much oil in, and proceeded to burn the crap out of it. My chef came by and lost his mind. I explained it to him, and he watched me burn, just ruin this thing. It was black and smelled like a tire fire. She ate all of it and said we were the only place to get it right. She came back every weekend for it, and we had to train new cooks how to burn the living crap out of food for her. I still can't comprehend why she would eat that. Respectfully, it's not your job to comprehend that. If they're gonna keep coming back paying you for it, just burn the tofu, dude. I had a customer send back well done prime rib 3 times because it wasn't well done enough. The cooks said screw it the 4th time and dropped it in the deep fryer for at least 5 minutes. Then the customer asked for a side of ketchup. Almighty God of steaks up there in the clouds is frowning upon this right now. Why? Why? Why would you ruin a perfectly good steak like that? I'm crying inside. I really am. I worked at a coffee shop and a girl ordered a hot cocoa. We have milk, dark, or white chocolate, so I asked her which she would like. It was a very standard question that we asked everyone. Then this happened. None of those. I just want Oreos on top. Oh, do you just want warm milk with whipped cream and Oreos? No. I want hot chocolate with whipped cream and Oreos on top. Okay, great. So for us to make hot chocolate, we melt these little chocolate chips into milk. We have milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and white chocolate chips. Which would you like us to use? No, you don't get it. I want hot chocolate with whipped cream and Oreos on top. I don't want those chocolate chips. I just gave up trying and used milk chocolate. She was at least 15, too. Seriously, kid? Ugh. I worked at a national pizza chain for a while as a manager. We used to get this guy who would order all the time. He was lactose intolerant, so couldn't have cheese and had severe heartburn when he ate red sauce. He would order an extra large Supreme with no sauce and no cheese. I told the guy that if I did that, the toppings would fly all over the box, but he didn't care. We ended up just baking the dough separate from the toppings and put the toppings in a small wing box on the side for him. Guy said no other pizza place would do that for him, and he turned out to be a great repeat customer who always tipped well. You provide quality customer service, and that's what you get. Even if it doesn't make sense, this is what can happen. Still, I wouldn't really call that a pizza. not a waiter, but when I was a kid, my little brother hated cheese but loved pizza. He was only 4 or 5 at the time and didn't fully grasp the concept of pizza yet, so when we ordered a pizza, my dad would always have to order a plain pizza. One time we were at Pizza Hut and my dad ordered a plain pizza, and the waiter responded, "Okay, so a large cheese pizza." My brother immediately started crying, so my dad started winking at the waiter going, "No, a large plain pizza. Wink, wink, wink." Evidently, there was a breakdown in communication between my dad and the waiter, and we ended up getting a circle of dough covered in sauce. And a follow-up there. I have a daughter who does this. At 21, she will not eat anything called a casserole, except she will and she loves it, but only if I call it a mashup. Same thing with beef. Steak? Yum. Burgers? Yum. Tacos? Yum. Meat and lasagna? Suddenly she doesn't eat beef. It is maddening. Edit. Alright folks, let me clarify. She's in her 4th year of college, lives away from home, cooks for herself, and is by most standards a pretty dang good kid. She's mostly teasing me with her resistance to the word and eats every bite of whatever I make. Had this skinny guy order 2 full lobster plates and a ribeye steak. I just sat back and watched him dominate it all. It's always the skinny ones that can get away with that. I've got a good friend who is maybe about, a good 8 inches shorter than me, and I'd say roughly 115 pounds soaking wet. So the first year my wife and I were married, he and several other friends came to my parents' place because they were out of town for Thanksgiving, and we did like a big Friendsgiving type deal. And so there were like 8 or 10 people there. We had a good-sized turkey. We had a whole giant spread of stuff. I mean, just tons and tons and tons of food like you'd expect with Thanksgiving. He went back for 4ths, as I recall. We got to take home one large Tupperware full of leftovers. That's it. That was all that was left of Thanksgiving. Largely due to him. And anyone who knows him who's watching knows exactly who I'm referring to. Love you, man, but I don't know where you put it all. Barista here. We had a Narcotics Anonymous convention in town once. I had someone order a 16-ounce cup with as much espresso as would fit. It was something like 18 shots, cost about $25. And he downed it at the counter and went, "Whoa!" Another NA guy wanted a 16-ounce cup with half vanilla syrup, half espresso. A lady regularly asks for a cup of regular coffee with a large spoonful of butter stirred in. We do breakfast sandwiches on bagels and croissants, and a businessman with a group of his colleagues had ham, egg, and cheese, but he wanted it on a chocolate croissant. I think my favorite incident, though, was a lady that wanted a latte with half non-fat and half soy, a triple shot with 1 regular shot, 1 decaf shot, and 1 half-calf shot, heated to a specific temperature, double cupped, 1 Splenda and 1 Equal stirred into the shots. The works, basically. The guy behind her thought it was as ridiculous as I did, and he loudly asked for a mocha bullcrap drink with 1/3 goat's milk, 1/3 cashew milk, 1/3 giraffe milk, cooled with a chip of ice from a Norwegian glacier and topped with nutmeg and gold flake. Then he said, "Wait, is your giraffe milk fair trade? Okay, never mind then. I'll just have a cup of coffee." He still comes in. I love that guy. I'm gonna have to take that line. Is your giraffe milk fair trade? Oh, I'm gonna have to. I don't know what circumstance I can use it under, but my gosh, when I can, I'm gonna love to do it. I worked for a while in a vegetarian/vegan-friendly buffet restaurant. Now, the great majority of people were actually really nice, not particularly haughty about their diet or anything, but I had 2 customers that were, let's say, different. The first one came up to me with a plate already filled with various salads that she, being a buffet, had personally selected. She showed me the plate and asked me, "Do your salads have any raw ingredients in it?" And before I could answer, "Because I'm pregnant, see, so I can't eat anything raw," while still showing me her plate of definitely raw, various veggies and fruit salads. I was so dumbstruck that all I could say was, "Let me ask the kitchen to make sure." And I actually did. Because is salad raw is one of these questions that make you question even the most basic things, such as what a salad is or what hats are. I asked the chef if our salads had raw ingredients in them. He looked at me and said, "Is she familiar with the concept of salad?" We ended up switching her plate for another one because, yes, our salads had raw ingredients in them. However, all in all, she was really nice about it and didn't mind waiting a bit more for us to fix her plate. The second one was, however, a bit more rude. She came up to me and told me that she could only eat raw vegan stuff. I thus directed her to the salad buffet because, hey, now I was pretty sure they were made of raw ingredients. And that's when she scowled at me and said, yeah, but I'm getting a bit tired of salads, you know? Seriously? You bestow upon other people the task of finding you food that fits your incredibly narrow criteria, and then you complain that it's a tad unoriginal? She later complained that we didn't have any raw cake. The cake was already vegan, mind you, but yeah, we had baked it. This is the only time I really thought, you are an insult to natural selection. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's like going into Taco Bell and asking them to make you a Whopper or a Big Mac. It's a buffet. You asked for the specific option. It's not a place where they will cater around you. You see food, you grab it, you eat it. That's how buffets work. Did she not understand this concept? Follow up to that one though. That was hilarious and oh so true. I once had a lady pout at the table because everyone else was eating ceviche. While they explained that it was raw fish but cured in lime juice, so not exactly raw, she replied, "Well, I know, but I just don't eat food that was once raw." You probably go pretty hungry then. Some people. That was r/AskReddit, and if you want more funny or uplifting AskReddit content, then go ahead and feel free to check out the playlist link in the description below. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.